Hello, James here. I wanted to show you guys something. Um, the countries of what people worship, and in this video, I'm going to show you how it all ties together and what the events going on today. What you worship depends on what's happening in the world and what's over. And to the people who read the Bible, who understand the Bible, who's filled with the Father Spirit, who's filled with baptized in Jesus' name, who have the relationship with the Holy Spirit, you know what I'm talking about. A lot of people don't know this. So then I'm going to show you what's going to happen for those who are believers. Here is the countries, what they believe. I'm gonna take you to the beginning. This is all their belief system, what they worship over in other countries. This man represents Jesus. This symbol represents Allah. Here's the countries, which means Jesus represents Christianity. Now I'm going to point out some countries that stuff is going on right now. I'm going to show you. So when you see the white symbolism of this, that means Christianity. And this, this symbol means Islam. It's Islamic. Allah is Islamic for God. This is Buddhism. That's Bhutan. That's another symbolism of what they call lords. You represent a different Lord. You know how we say Lord Yeshua, Lord Jesus? They say Lord Buddha. He's a Lord. Then Buddhism in Cambodia. There are two countries that are going through judgment right now. Watch this. China and Saudi Arabia. Watch what they worship. Watch who they worship.
You brought this kingdom together, and it will stay together, even at
China, Buddhism, China. Saudi Arabia worships Allah. I'm going to show you something. Jesus represents the Christian, governs the prayers over these countries. Allah governs the prayers over these countries. Buddha, intentionally. And guess who Israel worships? It's not Jesus. To my Christians out there. Guess who? Wait till you see who Israel worship. And Ukraine. And you're gonna be surprised who Russia's for. Ethiopia, they worship Allah. And there's two other deities that the world worship besides Jesus and Allah. What they call Allah for the Muslims, Jesus for the Christians. The Buddhism for the Thailand, China, Bhutan. They worship the Muslim god Allah. Jesus worship. So these prayers that these countries praying to go directly to which one? India worships Shiva. That's the main one they pray to, Shiva, over that land. All these with the green, all are Muslim countries worship the Muslim god, Allah. Israel worship not Jesus, but D-A-G-G-G-A-L. I want to stop this right here. Israel do not worship the Messiah. They worship a Messiah different. And this is some kind of prophet. And this is Israel. Let me show you. Let me show you. This is Israel. They worship a separate Messiah in Israel. Japan worship a different Messiah. So in the land with Jesus, they don't worship Jesus. They don't pray to Jesus. Majority don't pray to Jesus. Kuwait, all these Muslim countries. In Vietnam, they worship Buddha. So all the prayers and worship go from these countries, go up to heaven from these countries. But there are some people who probably, and they do believe in Jesus. I mean, their prayers are getting it, but the governments, the principalities, is over these countries. So wherever your prayers go to, they come up from these countries. Malaysia, Moldova worships Allah. Malawi worships Allah. They worship Shiva and Mukti. They worship the same goddess as India does. Look how many countries worship Jesus. Nepal worships Shiva. They worship the same God as the India do. Nigeria worships Allah, even though Christianity, but
Get a jump start on Cyber Monday with
over their
50%
lands,
off toys
they worship
at
Allah.
Kohl's.
In Korea, they don't worship any religion. In North Korea, they don't worship any god. All these people worship Jesus. Russia worships Jesus. Watch who Ukraine worship. So it's the Orthodox Christian in Russia. Saudi Arabia worships Allah, right? That's what Mecca is at, right? What tell you what's going on in Saudi Arabia? Now you probably wonder, who do Ukraine worship? You're gonna be shocked. They worship the same deity as Israel do. And they don't worship Jesus. Majority what's going on in Ukraine right now. Not saying that there's no Ukrainian Christians, but a certain percentage of them don't worship Jesus. Here's all the countries. In Spain, they don't have no religion. There's no religion in Spain. Buddhism, Sri Lanka, Sudan. Shiva is worshipped in this place. It's Sarnak name. They worship the same god of India. Majority of that country. Buddhism, Thailand. In Trinidad and Tobago, they worship the same goddess as India, Shiva, Tobago.
A strong thunderstorm cyclone in Saudi Arabia.
And then they show around Mecca. This is around the Kabul.
The bad weather was accompanied
That's
by
the
hail,
Kabul right
wind,
there. Saudi Arabia, where all the Muslims go to. That's where all the Muslims go to. From every part of the world, they go over there.
The hail was so strong that it easily broke car windows. Due to heavy rains, car parts of the city were flooded. The road under the bridge suffered the most damage.
See, whatever deity you worship, you get that.
Cars floated their rainbows.
Who they worship? Allah. What the God of Allah brought them? Yes. Not the God of Christ.
So strong winds in places reached
Not the
old
God
faith
Jesus.
along the streets.
Allah. And his Prophet Muhammad.
The storm winds exceeded 80 kilometers per hour. Cities such as Mecca and Mecca were also affected by thunderstorms. Educational institutions were closed in some areas. Lightning struck both buildings, but there were no casualties. The streets were flooded, making it difficult for pedestrians to move around normally. In desert regions, rains formed entire rivers. These streams of water flushed into nearby cities, causing floods there. This severe weather is rare for this area. However, it's not frightening local residents of the country. They are happy. The thunderstorm will continue for a couple more days.
That's the flooding over there.
The city of Dallas suffered the most.
Taylor, Turn that back window up over there.
Imagine what they got was hit by storms.
Yeah.
Judgment.
Anyway, it was accompanied by sun, light, hail, mountains. In some places, wind gusts reached 150 kilometers per hour. The flooding has affected farms.
Remember that deity that who they call Lord? That is, I can't say the name. Dijava or something. You gonna be, and it was coming out of Israel.
And why is our Prophet saying that the
Yes,
majority
it's Islam.
of the followers of Dajjal will be from that group? Well, in Jewish eschatology, the term Mashiach, Masih, it refers specifically, they do have this aqidah, and it refers to a future king from the line of David. Okay? So, mainstream Jewish belief is that there will be a person from the line of David, from the descendants of Dawood, who will be a king, and he will be anointed. Masih. He will be anointed with holy oil, and he will bring in the messianic age. He will bring in the end of times. So, the Masih in their aqidah is called the King Masih. Malach Mashiach. Malach Mashiach. The King Masih. Because for them, the Masih is a political figure, not a religious reformer. Okay? For them it was, the Masih is the one of power and politics, and not somebody who comes to tazkiyatun nafs and, Isa is coming and telling them, ubashirukum, and giving you glad tidings. The bushra is the evangelion, the evangelical, the Injil, evangelical, by the way, evangelical and Injil, the same term. Injil is Injil, the good tidings, the evangelical, that's where it comes from. So the Masih in Jewish folklore is a king from the line of Dawood, who will bring about the restoration of the status of the Israelites and reconstruct the temple of Israel. Okay? So they do believe in the Masih as a political figure, and who will bring back the kingdom of who? Of Dawood. And this has been a mainstream of ancient, medieval, and even some modern Jewish movements, as we're going to come to right now. And that is why, dear Muslims, when the Masih Isa came and he began preaching to the Bani Israel, and he claimed he was the Masih, the Yahud did not care about a Masih that's a spiritual reformer. They wanted a Masih who is what? Who is a king. And so when they found out that this person is not a king, they went and complained to the king, to the Roman emperor, and they said, we have a man who is claiming to be the king of the Israelites. Did Isa claim to be king? Hello, did Isa claim to be king? Why did the Yahud say he's claiming to be king? Are you guys following this? Because he claimed to be the Masih, and in the eyes of the Yahud, the Masih is who? The king. And so what happened with Pontius Pilate, what happened with them happened, and they said, oh, this is a political agitator. They would not have cared if Jesus said he is a religious reformer. They didn't care. What is there to do with a religious reformer? But they did worry that he's claiming to be a king. They don't want any political trouble, and that's why what happened, and so they then went to arrest him. And then what happened, we will talk maybe in another lecture, what do we Muslims believe and what are the various theories out there. But anyway, now you understand that issue. Now the issue we need to come back to is that belief in the advent of the Masih was a mainstream of Jewish theology, and for them the Masih will bring back the power and the izzah of the kingdom of David that used to be. And therefore, as I mentioned to you earlier, we should all be aware that there are three strands, right, of Judaism in our times. They are, number one, which one? Orthodox. Number two, conservative. Number three, Reform. There are others, reconstructions, but for ours, let's just keep it these three. And the bulk of them in our times are Reform. Okay? Actually, another tangent, but again, this is something you should be aware of. This is something interesting. Around 20, 30 years ago, the Orthodox were so minuscule that the assumption was they would disappear. It would be gone, especially in the 70s. But there has been a massive revival, and more Yahud are joining the Orthodox even if their parents were not Orthodox. And so the Orthodox movement has swelled in ranks. And I don't know the latest statistics, but I think maybe up to 15%, which is a big number compared to what it was in the 70s. 15%, like, 1 out of 8 is an Orthodox, okay? And one of the reasons, by the way, again, all of this is a tangent, but inshallah it is beneficial to us as Muslims, because we need to learn from the good and the bad. We need to see history. We need to learn what's going on. The fact of the matter is, why is there a return to Orthodoxy? Frankly, because when you have a religion whose values become so watered down that they don't stand for anything, the very people say, what is this? It's not a religion anymore. And they will go back to an actual religion. And this is a big warning to those amongst the Muslim community who are flirting with progressive Islam. When Islam becomes the flavor of the month, then you have no Islam left. Then what is the purpose of being a Muslim? When the halal becomes what is politically correct, and the haram becomes what is politically incorrect, and you have no backbone to stand on, and you think you are preserving your faith, in reality you are losing it. Your children will not have any faith. What do you have left anymore? Our faith is not based upon the whims of society around us. We have the Quran, we have our Sharia, we have the Wahy from Allah. Now I'm not saying we have to be intransigent. No. Our ulama, especially our forward-thinking ulama, have to navigate the flow. Where there's allowance, we will take it. But where there is none, we will not take it. Where there's a red line, we do not go that area. So that's a point we learn. In the 1960s, 70s, there was a massive, as I said, almost everybody is going Reform. Their own children began rejecting it. And they said, what is this? There's nothing there. There is no... to be Reformed, you can be atheist. You can deny God. There's no Sharia. You can eat pork and whatnot. And there's like, what is left of my Jewishness? That they will say. What is left if there's nothing? So there's going back to the Asl. And the Asl is Orthodox. That is the hardcore literalism. Now, within Orthodox, there are many strands. And of course, you have the Hasidic Orthodox. You are all familiar with the Hasidic, H-A-S-I-D-H, the Hasidic. And the Hasidic in particular is a strand of Orthodox. They have a very strong and passionate belief about the coming of the Messiah, that is very imminent, just about to appear. And they believe, and this is important again, that the more pious they are, the more quickly the Messiah will come. And that explains their fervousness. That explains their literalism. Right? They want to be, the more pious they are, so the more faithful they are,
that's what's running
the faster
Israel right
will
now.
come the Messiah. Right? And so they are very, very hardcore about this.
That's what's running Israel right now. Now, I'm going to... So, that's who that person is. Let's get back to the judgment. This is Saudi Arabia, where the Muslims are at.
Small, even things like toy balls.
hail. And he had so much hail it turned into snow, like ice snow.
Because of this, they were frequent power hunters. Hail was also reported to soften the desert rocks. Flash flood paralyzed the region, beaten with the help of the enemy. Thousands of people were forced to flee their homes, seeking refuge from their water. Friends, astonishing phenomena continue to unfold worldwide, and as several scientists have mentioned, changes are happening for most of the world. But just when we think of deserts, like Saudi Arabia's, we likely imagine vast sand dunes or relentless scorching sun. However, these places, we think, always look the same, but the world is changing, and in recent months, they have been dyed white.
That's the desert.
A massive whitish blanket has fallen over the hot sands that have long remained unchanged, but now everything is shifting. We notice with the significant changes that have been occurring. Cyclones, hurricanes, storms at places where they shouldn't normally happen. Now, even hail is falling in northern Saudi Arabia, which we know is hard to reach storm areas. But hail has started to fall and has come to transform the region. This has sparked excitement, surprise for the majority of locals because it's considered a rare event that is hard to imagine seeing, just like saying tornadoes or other phenomena in a place where you live that you've never seen and perhaps have never happened there. But now they are starting to appear. Similarly, hail began to fall in desert areas, in the endless expanses of deserts, where temperatures are now dropping, described as historic hailstorms. The snow that forms is turning the areas of Saudi Arabia's sands white, and it's incredible. This event is surprising the entire world, but when the ice melts, it floods different places in Saudi Arabia, as well as dyeing the desert white. Quite an unusual climate because the dunes now look like they've been snowed on. The incredible thing is that deserts are freezing. They're bringing heavy snowfall to this side of the hemisphere where we don't usually see it.
Y'all talk about y'all don't believe in the
Some
Bible?
temperatures have plummeted in
Y'all
some
believe in
Middle Eastern
Revelation?
countries.
believe in Christ? You don't believe the one that died on the cross?
Many citizens are fascinated by these events and firsthand go out to see the snow, take pictures, and have fun without suspecting that something strange is happening.
This one, China.
Different parts of the Middle East where unusual images are circulating worldwide. But it's natural for anyone to be fascinated by witnessing something that is not seen in a local area where they live. Many are not accustomed to this, as these places are mostly extremely hot.
They indicated that many people have seen snow for the first time.
Snow.
These countries are
In
mostly
Saudi
used to
Arabia.
droughts, hot climates, but this is strange. Everything is changing. Even specialists indicated that in the summer months, temperatures here don't drop below 20 degrees Celsius. So the climates are quite hot. It's not normal.
Since we've gotten a bed, it's changed our lives.
My sleep number setting is 30.
It's not normal or common for such events to occur in the Middle East and desert countries that continue to surprise millions of people. But people wonder, is the world really changing?
That's literally snow in the Middle East.
There are many opinions about this because while some affirm that climate change is the cause of all this, others indicate that it's pole shifts, and others say that the change is happening now and will not happen in 100 or 50 years. We are experiencing the change, but not only has it snowed in these places, but hail has accumulated and then melted because channels have formed, passing through the sand as if it were normal in deserts.
Ya Allah.
These astonishing images have been captured in videos and photographs, as most of the area has turned white. Also, what is normally known as sands and dunes baked by the hot sun. Many have been amazed to see snowflakes for the first time. This mostly happened in countries like Oman, Iran, Saudi Arabia. Residents didn't want to stop taking photos because it's strange to see.
Imagine so.
Something
Shoot.
totally incredible is happening in the world in recent months.
In time.
It's not precisely known why these events are occurring, but many suggest that this is the great change that has already arrived to stay.
You believers, you know what it is. They don't know what it is.
Others say it's weather manipulation, and meteorologists point to climate change. But this is solely up to your judgment.
Ya salam, ya salam.
Oh, you know, that camera's gotta be hurting, man. There's snow on the
Remember,
ground.
you can support this information by subscribing to this channel and leaving a like. Thank you for watching.
You think that was something? Watch what's happening in China. This is unbelievable. What's happening over there? Watch this. That's China. a blizzard. Usually around the mountains of North Korea, you probably see snow, but up top, this is in the city. This is in the province, the lower tiers of China. So China represent Buddhism, and their God, he get judged. And one video I mentioned how the way they restrain the Bible, this the judgment.
The snow has gone inside the house, right onto the company computers because we didn't close the windows. You guys better come up here quickly. We didn't close the windows during the blizzard. I can't believe it. I've been living in Harmon for decades, grew up here, and this is the first time I've encountered such heavy snow. It's blocked half of our door, taller than my waist, almost 1.4 meters high. Look how thick the snow is outside. The whole road is completely covered. We can't even get out of the house.
On the way to school in Harbin, China. Harbin welcomes the first winter blizzard. Student, going to school is like attending a science expedition in Antarctica.
In one video, I'm going to show you China. Everything is emptying out over there.
Marking this year's widest
The malls,
and most
the
intense snowfall
highways,
since the onset of winter.
businesses,
This has
even
led to the
Walmart's
cancellation
pulling
of
out
numerous
of
high-speed
China.
trains and flights, school closures, and the shutdown of many
It's not going
highways
to be in
across
this
the
video,
region.
but the next video is
At midnight, they dumped us in North Shenyang. The train won't go any further. Everyone was told to get off. Either return to Beijing or refund the ticket out the window. Everyone's here to get refunds.
全都是来退票。
Only the green trains are running now. The high-speed trains from Jiamusi have all stopped. What about the high-speed train from Harbin to Jiamusi? That can't run either. November 7th, 2:04 a.m., Harbin Airport. The plane landed at 12:30 a.m. Now they're clearing the snow since. It's 2:04 a.m. and now there's not a single car outside.
Before this, snow depths in Shuangyashan, Jiamusi, and Jixian in Heilongjiang province had already exceeded 40 centimeters. Videos captured by netizens in Jiamusi, Heilongjiang, show locals searching for their cars in the aftermath of the blizzard, likening it to a blind box experience, with car recognition relying on guessing and digging, and some realizing halfway that they had dug up the wrong car. Dug out the wrong one. This is the right car.
If you preach Christ over there, you'll be arrested. You preach Jesus Christ over there, you will be
At first, I
arrested.
was so frustrated digging,
Therefore,
worried about
Lord
mistaking
Buddha-
the car for snow and shoveling it.
The majority country like Lord Buddha, they get the deity of Lord Buddha.
The Chinese meteorological station issued a cold wave, blizzard, strong wind, and strong convective weather warnings at 6 p.m. on November 6th. The northern and northeastern regions, as well as Inner Mongolia, experienced a cliff-like temperature drop with a general decrease of 6 to 10 degrees Celsius, and some areas experiencing a drop of over 16 degrees Celsius. Concurrently, at 10 a.m. on November 8th, the meteorological station continued to issue a blue warning for blizzards, predicting continuous snowfall from 2 p.m. on the 8th to 2 p.m. on the 9th in central Jilin, the Changbai Mountains, and southern and northeastern parts of Heilongjiang. some areas were expected to experience heavy snowfall, with new snow depths of 2 to 6 centimeters and up to about 10 centimeters in mountainous areas. The blizzard is still ongoing.
这看不出来是啥？看这个，多高了这雪啊！
明天开始，新一股较强的冷空气将来袭，这也将是今年下半年以来最强的冷空气。
家人们，谁懂啊？东北下白糖了，这边叫冰糖。
Look at the highways over there. Damn. Man, that's worse than Chicago, Buffalo over here. That's just about worse. Buffalo, Chicago is kind of bad in the wintertime.
没有了。
I don't see anybody live in Buffalo. In Chicago? Ooh, Jesus.
早晨7点半从曲力出来的。
Are you ready?
Oh my God！ 早晨7点半从曲力出来的。
Left the block at 7:30 a.m. What should have been a 15-minute journey due to the snow is almost noon now. I left at 7:30 a.m. and now it's 10:30 a.m. Doubt I'll make it by noon. Can't even turn back now. It's too tough. Almost on the verge of breaking down.
Media reports suggest that the severity of the snowfall in northeastern China is extraordinary, potentially breaking historical records. According to the Heilongjiang Meteorological Service Center, temperatures in the greater Khingan Range have already dropped to below negative 25 degrees Celsius, experiencing a sharp drop in temperature just as winter begins, reaching a level described as turning purple. Due to the extreme weather, Harbin Airport canceled approximately 39 flights from November 5th to 7th. The capitals of Heilongjiang and Jilin, Harbin, and Changchun, respectively, have issued notices for homeschooling after the closure of primary and secondary schools, kindergartens, and extracurricular training centers. Zhang Quan, a meteorological analyst from China Weather Network, stated that the intensity of the snowfall is quite rare in early November, accompanied by strong winds. In the coming days, the cold wave will move southward step by step, affecting most parts of China from west to east, north to south. In the midst of this blizzard, another sports gymnasium in Heilongjiang collapsed, following a previous collapse at the number 34 middle school in Qiqihar, Heilongjiang, just over 3 months ago. Reports state that around 7:40 p.m. on November 6, a part of a gymnasium in Huanan County of Jiamusi City collapsed. The collapsed section was a basketball gym where 7 people were inside at the time. 3 managed to escape, 1 was injured, and 3 were trapped. According to official reports, by 12:35 a.m. on November 7th, the rescue operation at the collapse site was completed, with the 3 trapped individuals confirmed deceased.
外头这么响呢？快点儿，悦城博物馆爆炸了，悦城。
Yuecheng Gymnasium has exploded. Oh no, there are still people inside. It's over. Yuecheng Gymnasium has exploded. It's all over. The gymnasium behind Yuecheng collapsed and smashed all the cars.
悦城这后面的体育馆，底下汽车都砸碎了。
A student who escaped revealed to the media that they were all middle school students. Around 6 p.m. that evening, 7 students met at the Huanan County Yuecheng Sports Club to play basketball. An hour later, the roof of the basketball gym suddenly collapsed.
Yuecheng Gymnasium has collapsed. I need to call my mom.
The student described hearing popping sounds from the roof just before the collapse. He immediately yelled at the other 6 people in the gym to run. Just 3 seconds later, the entire top layer collapsed and he survived by taking cover under a load-bearing column. He also said that there were 3 collapses in total at the gymnasium, and after escaping, he and others who arrived at the scene managed to rescue 1 person before the last collapse. Look at the Yuecheng Gymnasium. The roof is about to collapse, and there are still kids inside. Look at these bulging windows. There are still people in the gymnasium. A nearby female resident says she heard a thud and the entire building shook. When I opened the window, I saw the roof of the building at the back collapsing. It's snowing heavily here today. People trapped underneath can't call for help, but they said they saw someone come out. Yet there are still people trapped inside. They say it's the heavy snow that caused the roof to collapse. I'm downstairs now. It really looks like something exploded inside the gymnasium. All the glass on this side has shattered.
Let's confirm the location. Right under that target over there. We just heard sounds.
A witness named Mr. Chen stated that he was playing games at home when he heard a loud noise and rushed to the scene. Mr. Chen saw that people were already rescuing others when he arrived. He said, "There were people everywhere, and I saw 2 people being rescued one after another, but it's very cold now. Everyone is wrapped in down jackets, but you can still tell the injuries were pretty severe." Mr. Chen mentioned that the gymnasium was 6 to 7 meters high and could be used for basketball, badminton, table tennis, costing 10 yuan per hour during the day. The gymnasium was large and relatively new, not an old one. An official from the Huanan County Public Relations Department said in an interview that the roof collapse might be related to the heavy snowfall. Some residents of Huanan County also stated that the snow on November 6 reached knee-high, and such heavy snowfall had not been seen at this time of year before. However, many citizens and netizens do not agree with the explanation that heavy snow can collapse roofs, questioning whether this is another attempt by officials to blame a natural disaster when in fact the incident is a man-made disaster caused by shoddy construction. Some netizens posted videos of their greenhouses nearby remaining intact in the blizzard, raising questions. Why can the wind and snow not collapse the greenhouse but can collapse the roof of a gymnasium?
My greenhouse didn't collapse, but the Jiamusi gymnasium did. What do you think? Is my greenhouse sturdier, or is the Jiamusi gymnasium just too bad quality? But the cost of my greenhouse collapsing is much less, whereas the collapse of the Jiamusi gymnasium is a huge loss. 3 precious lives.
代价很小啊，他那个体育馆3个鲜活的生命啊，代价太大了。
Netizens have commented with mockery on the recent incident of a building collapse due to heavy snowfall in Northeast Asia.
Gift size matters. Bigger.
So, as we see, what's happening over in China, happened in Saudi Arabia, in United Arab Emirates, where these events are happening. And in one video I saw, which I record, I'll make on my next video, that the malls, they have like we over here, the malls are empty, the storefronts are empty, most of the manufacturing is fleeing. Walmart is like one of the last biggest like American company. They pulled up shipment up out of there. China is really going through. And it's something, because I was watching earlier what McGregor was saying. He's the general, and he was saying how Russia is kind of helping China out with certain things because they suffering over there, and so they suffering. Different industries are suffering over in China, even despite that they have enormous, interest in the United States and other places. But you see, in parts of China, they paying the price. And Saudi Arabia, right at the Mecca, where Mecca's at, right at the Kaaba, where they go walk around. It's hit down there with those hailstones. And it was one video I remember watching, and it was all these. It was like a plague of bugs come out of nowhere all around Mecca. Now, if you're a believer, you know what that is. But see, they don't know what it is because they believe in their Lord and whoever their prophet, which is like a prophet, and who they call Allah. But look what is come out of what you worship. Look what's come out of what the Chinese worship. This is judgment. Look what's happening with Israel, what they worship. I was really surprised about Israel. But now you see. And some Christians don't even know about that person. So you can't even, that's why you can't preach and evangelize over there the word of Christ, because they don't believe in Christ. They trick the Christian community. That's who they truly believe in. Shame, ain't it? Right in the same area where the one who Jesus of Nazareth came from. And you see who's running it in that one video. There you have it. There's your proof right there. So it's going to probably shock a lot of Christians. And I'm going to show you another video about more in detail about that person who they probably believe is the Antichrist or something similar to an Antichrist. Could be the beast. That was discovered in the Muslim, and it's basically the Muslims called it. That was basically out of a Muslim. But the Jews and the Muslim have the same thing. Alright then, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, it's getting gooder and gooder. Truth is coming forward. Now you see why this judgment is on the earth. Now you see clearly. And for you believers, now God has just opened up your eyes. The Most High God, through His Son Yeshua Mashiach, just opened up your eyes to the world. Jesus just showed you who is for Jesus, who's not for Jesus. Keep your prayers up. Take care.